How's it going, YouTube? I'm doing outstanding, and today is another, I wouldn't call it a history lesson, really, but, so, I'll just get right into it. So, I live in Beaverton, Oregon, and it used to be nice. I don't know. I mean, it's still not bad, but, it definitely used to be better. That being said, I think it's interesting to go and look at the history of the area that you live in. And so, I was looking at the history for around here, and Portland was founded in like the 1850s. Beaverton was founded in like the 1890s, um, which is crazy because New York was founded in like the 1620s. So it's like that's a big fucking difference there. Um, anyway, when Beaverton was founded, there was it was mostly just farmland and like a railroad, and one of those farms produced horseradish, which apparently is still one of Beaverton's biggest worldwide exports, which I find kind of crazy. Did not know that. I have never once had horseradish, as far as I know. Obviously, we've got Nike World Headquarters here, Leupold and Stevens. We got Biamp, a whole lot of things, whole lot of places. A lot of big businesses these days, you know. I mean, Intel's just over in Hillsboro. It's a busy area. But, you know, go back to like the 1890s when it's being founded, and it's different. One of the more popular roads out here, Canyon Road, was one of the first ones to be paved. And by paved, I mean like it went from being made of mud to wood. They I don't know exactly what they did, but that was weird, wasn't it? Don't worry about it. Just shh. Um. Alright. So they started laying down like wooden planks so they'd be easier to ride on and it wouldn't be so muddy and things like that. And they would charge $1 to $5 per wagon. And it's like Jesus, that's a lot of money. Like I don't know exactly how much because I don't think the inflation calculator goes back that far, but I can try real quick. Anywho, there's some other roads around here. Allen, named after the Allens. Denny after the Dennys. Hall after the Hall family, and you know it's pretty simple. A lot of the roads around here are like that. So yeah, this will only let me go back to 1913, but I assume it can't be much different. So, yeah, that's like $130 in 1913. Like $5 in 1913 is $130 today. That's a lot of fucking money to ride a road that you could just go around, probably. Well, probably not actually. If whatever, you know, it's pretty cool. I don't know. I like looking into the history of the area that I live in, and oh, I think you should definitely look into the history of your town or city or village, whatever you live in, and you know try to keep some of that alive. I feel far too often we skip right past the stuff at home to learn about the world. And yes, I think it is very valuable to learn about what's going on in the world, but to know what happened in your local area is just as important because that's what's really going to affect you. Like, I mean, just take a breather, think about it, process what's going on. It's some cool shit. You know, and I think history is a good way to step out of what's been going on this past year that's been giving us a lot of stress, and it's been a shit year, let's be honest. And man, this time last year I had just given away an Oculus Rift S on the channel, which man, if only I had known where life was gonna go at that time, you know? Maybe I would have continued putting in the effort, maybe I would have done this or that. But it's not necessarily good to always think about what you could have done or what you will do. It's better to think about what you will do, is what I'm saying. But you don't want to get so lost in the past or the future that you can't focus on the present, which is really, really tough to do for anybody. I would love to be able to just be at peace with my decisions and think that what I've done was right and what I will do will be right, but that's not true. I mean, humans make mistakes. It's the only thing we're good for. Mistakes aren't bad, always. A lot of the times they are, but not always. I mean, think about when I was in elementary school, I made the decision to go to the international school in the area so that I could learn languages. I was in like 4th or 5th grade. I didn't know what that decision even meant. And if I hadn't made that decision, I don't think I'd be where I am today. I don't think I'd be who I am, because so much has changed because of that one decision. I spent 5 years at ISB because it was in middle school, high school, and I learned a lot of stuff. I met a lot of people, and I hated it. I hated all 5 years I was there. It was, beyond a reasonable doubt, the worst school I had ever been to. It was, it was, I don't want to get into why it was terrible. I mean, I'm sure most people don't like their middle school or high school. But, I wish I could say I made friends along the way, but I really didn't. Not from ISB. I made friends outside of that, for sure. I mean, it's hard not to. But I wish I could have made friends while I was there that would have, lasted. I mean, I was there for 5 years. You'd think anything that happened there would have. Anyway, on to the rest of the story. That later, when I left ISB, I ended up going to Sunset in the area, big high school. And it was such a drastic change from, 200 kids to, 2,000 kids. And I didn't know, what to do. I mean, it was crazy. I walked into the lunchroom and there was, a glee club actually singing. And I was like, what is this? Am I, in a high school movie or something? It was so different from what I had been seeing for the past, 5 years. And so, alright, but I think I adapted really well. I was finally able to take game design and robotics and all these classes that I had been wanting to, and some of the friends that I had were going there, and so I had friends, and it really drastically improved my life. And if I hadn't have changed over to Sunset after ISB, I wouldn't have met one of my friends, Annie Sharp, who, she's the reason I got my first job, because she worked there, and I was going in to see her, and the supervisor on shift or whatever was just like, hey, do you want a job? I was just like, sure. And so I started working at a Taco Bell, and it wasn't too bad. I didn't like it, but it wasn't too bad. I don't eat Taco Bell. It's not my style. I hate cheese. Sorry to anybody who loves cheese. I can't stand it. Don't like it. Yeah. Oh, God. But after that, I mean, if it wasn't for that one decision, I wouldn't have later met the Civil Air Patrol, which is kind of like an Air Force auxiliary unit or whatever that you can join as a kid, kind of like the Young Marines and things. And so I joined that, and I did that for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half before I went and enlisted into the United States Marine Corps. which obviously drastically changed how my life would go. And I don't think I would have made the same decision if I hadn't gone to ISB initially, because then I wouldn't have met those people at those points in their life, and I doubt we would have been friends earlier than that, you know? A lot of people say that they would have liked to met their friend or significant other sooner in life, but I don't think that's true, because all those events and experiences that happen prior to your meeting are important to shaping who you are, and how you're going to react to things, you know? And so, I mean, it's amazing how one small, incredibly small decision can truly shape so much of your life without you even realizing until you look back. So, I suggest you all just take a second, breathe, and look back at your history, and then also, once you're done with that, just think about what small decisions are you going to make today that'll affect your future. But, and like I said, you know, it's kind of a struggle. You got to pay attention to not just the past and the future, but the present. Live in the now, because the now is all that there is. You don't know what the future holds, and you can't change the past. So, this turned out to be a real weird video, guys. I'm sorry. I was just gonna record a thing about Beaverton, but then I just kind of ranted. Sorry. Have a good one.